Estevao to play as a 10. And the reason being, we saw against Ajax, right? When he played against Ajax, I saw what he did. When Maresca took him from the winger and then from the wing and put George at the wing and then put Estevao as a 10 because he said in 48 hours Estevao have another game to play. But my thing is that when he went to play as that center forward, what I love for him is that it's like he was involved right in the game. His off the ball movement, he had at least 3 or 4 different chances that he could have created for himself. And what's up, people? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good and hopefully you're doing okay. Spurs versus Chelsea tomorrow. This is my preview, right? We have to win this one. We have to win this one. I know it's against Spurs. It's gonna be a difficult game. It's gonna be even more difficult than we think because Spurs also coming, from a loss. They just lost against Crystal Palace. No, not Crystal Palace, but Newcastle, where in the Carabao Cup. Now we managed to win our game against Wolf, right? Let's not talk about that, especially the second half. But this game, going into this game with a win, I think is very good for the entire team to begin with. Kind of build the confidence and it's a London derby, right? We want to win. Spurs want to win. The game comes with its own pressure, comes with its own tension as well. The fact that it is a derby and it is in the Premier League. Now, Spurs is sitting third in the Premier League right now. We sit in ninth, but we are just what 3 points behind them. So if we win tomorrow, we would be on equal points with Spurs. But you know that does not mean it's going to be easy. I know they themselves have a little bit of injuries as much as we do, but it's not going to be the easiest thing on the planet, right? With Spurs, right? Our game against Spurs against Arsenal are never the easiest of game to begin with, and tomorrow there are a lot of things Maresca need to take into consideration. First of all, there's no red card. Let's start with that. No red card. For some reason, we managed to keep getting ourselves red card over and over, over and over, over and over, right? It cannot be. In 7 games, we have like what 5 different red cards. It cannot be, right? Like I said in previous video, there, there's some sort of a conversation need to be had with the players, whether it's Maresca talking to them or is them talking to themselves or is the owner talking to them. Somebody need to talk to them. At least if we need to call Thiago Silva, right? Let's phone Thiago Silva right now. Let's phone him and let him come over. At least have a conversation with these people. We cannot be doing going like this, right? And tomorrow is an important game. That's one of the reasons I was absolutely filming when Dilab got a record because first of all that record was absolutely avoidable. He could have gone that entire game without a single call. It was not necessary, right? Especially looking at he ain't just coming back from injury. Like for me, I was just excited to see him on the pitch. Like I said, right? I'm not looking for a goal. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just like I just want him to be there and at least kind of get back into that rhythm again, and then we can use him against Spurs, right? And I was hoping we get to use him against Spurs, but then he went ahead and did what he did. Right? Absolutely avoidable record. Maresca comment after the game was for me absolutely spot on, right? Not the fact about him forgetting to play, that him play for himself, and he later explained what he meant by that. That the lab get into the game, and it's like him versus the defender, right? He's looking to get on them, and as much as they looking to get on him as well, and nobody does that better than him on the pitch. And Maresca clarified that that was exactly what he meant by that, but you know he apologized, but come on, man. You could have been very useful for us, especially against Spurs. But now we get to go into this game with our Delab, with our Cole Palmer, with our Liverpool. Disasi, I said Disasi, but Badi the she is still out. So I think the usual people are out. So we're gonna go into this game with the people that are currently available. And that's not really bad. We know Lavia is there. I don't know. Most of us want to see Lavia start this game. So I won't be against Lavia starting, but do I think Lavia going to start this game? No, I don't think he's going to start this game. Now, I will appreciate that 3-man midfield that we usually go with, but I don't think he's, like I said, he's going to start this game as well. And I know a lot of people will want my Giu. Is it Giu? Yeah, my Giu. I usually get my Giu and my Gay twisted. So my Giu tomorrow could potentially start again, right? But like he need to add a little bit more to his game than just the energy. You know what I mean? Like He is that traditional type of forward like Leon Delap is, but with Leon Delap you get a little bit more. So Leon Delap have that edge over him. And now, granted, he's young and he's just 18 years old, and I think 18 or 19. So you get that young, what's it called? You know, there isn't much of an experience. There isn't much, that he needs to play as much as possible to be able to find, those like those type of thing that he's looking for that a striker would need, like though experience, especially off the ball movement, not just the energy that he brings, right? So hopefully he can add those type of things to his game. But for me, he's not included in my lineup. I'll be honest with you, and I like the player, he's great and all of that, but he is not included in my lineup. So speaking about my lineup, let's get into it, right? So the obviously we're going to be going with the usual Chelsea formation, right? Now, where is this thing? There we go. Right now, let's pick Chelsea. So now this formation right here, anybody will want to go with it. Like I'll see why they will want to go with it, and I won't be against it. Right? This one looks absolutely good. You have Gio up there. I think it was the same formation we used against Sunderland, so that I will understand why. But tomorrow, I don't think him's gonna start, especially a champion. Now, I would love for a champion to be on the pitch tomorrow, considering the amount of consistency that he's been showing for the entire Chelsea team, the entire the squad. I feel like he's been our most consistent center back over the last 4 or 5 games. Right, I'll give it to him. The kid been showing up. He's on the ball, off the ball movement, defensive work. He's been solid. Like, let's give it to him, right? And then, but I think tomorrow we're gonna have what's his name? Fofana. I think Fofana's going to play instead of him, and I'm not be necessarily against that, but I also want to see Josh on the pitch just because of his ability to be able to drive with the ball, right? So it's like we have center back that are good at passing, so like Body the She sometimes, Toxin as well, and then in especially those between the line passes, right? That usually goes to Palmer. He's good at that, but with a champion, you get him be not just him passing, but he also being able to drive off the ball. So if there's no option, he sometimes can be able to create that that space for himself and for the team by driving with the ball. So we get that from him, and so I think in tomorrow game it will be benefit. But do I think he's gonna start tomorrow? Probably not. I think West and Chalobah might be the two favorite. Now we already know Sanchez is gonna be in goal. Kukurea is gonna be starting. James also is gonna be starting. Now we get to the midfield, these three, right? Now I will make a case for Lavia to come into the midfield, and then we get to push him up there, right? So it's like we back into that three-man midfield type of thing. So it's like Lavia is there, Casado is there, and then uh Enzo is sitting there as a 10. But I don't think tomorrow Lavia is gonna get a start as well. So it's gonna be these two, the usual center back pairing, and then Ja Pedro. I'll also go with Garnacho as well. Now, Gaten's been making a case for himself, but in the Premier League, I think Garnacho is favorable for just because of the fact that Garnacho is used to the league and Garnacho been around for a little bit. So the physicality, he's capable of matching the physicality of the league. But with with Gittins, you don't get that, right? Like you can still see that he has a little bit more to learn. Now the skill is there. He's capable of taking people on. Like I said, in the last 3 games, he's managed like 2 men of the match performance, especially against Wolves, right? The last goal, that one speak for itself. But he's been phenomenal for us, and I'll give him all of the credit that he deserves. And then Neto as well. I don't see Neto coming. I don't see Neto not playing tomorrow. I know a lot of people are calling for Estevao to start ahead of him, but equally so, I don't see this guy not playing. He's been one of our most what's it called consistent wingers, right? Like not in terms of like goal and assist this season. I think he's struggling a little bit, and I'm sure that he will find his rhythm and he will start again, but what he offered to the team in terms of on and off the ball is good. Like we see him take people on. Last season, that was something I was calling for from him. Like, do it. We see Madueke do it, and for that, Madueke had the edge over him. But he had the work rate and everything, but Madueke could take people on. And this season, we are seeing a little bit more of that from him, especially taking people on, being more creative with those crosses, right? Like now I call the Pedro Neto crosses, like you know behind a back post type of crosses, take players on, get on his left, put it back post, and it usually work for Enzo Fernandez and whoever that is back there often, usually now Cucurella as well. So, which is good. But tomorrow, this is what I would do, right? Instead of Magui playing there, I want Estevao. I want Estevao to play as a 10. And the reason being, we saw against Ajax, where when he played against Ajax, I saw what he did. When Maresca took him from the winger and then from the wing and put Josh at the wing and then put Estevao as a 10 because he said in 48 hours Estevao have another game to play. But my thing is that when he went to play as that center forward, what I love for him is that it's like he was involved right in the game. His off the ball movement, he had at least 3 or 4 different chances that he could have created for himself. And the reason why I have him now, you could say I should make exchange him and Ja Pedro, right? Ja Pedro play as a 9, and he gets to play as a 10. Now, the reason why is like the physicality of the in the midfield. I usually see Estevao struggle with that, right? Now, when he's on the wing in an isolated environment, he usually flourish, right? When he's great at taking people on 1v1. But Ja Pedro, on the other hand, can be able to match the physicality in the midfield. And Estevao playing as a number 9 tomorrow, it's not like a typical number 9. He's playing more as a false 9, right? So in that case, you can see where I'm going with this. And then he and Ja Pedro can also alternate, like rotate. Ja Pedro can go up and take the number 9 position. He can come in as a 10. So it's not very stagnant. You know what I mean? So there can be some sort of a rotation between the both of them. And we shouldn't. The reason why I want Ja Pedro to play as a 10 instead of Estevao, because these two players, right, you need them to get on the ball as often as possible for them to feel involved in the game. And if you just stick Ja Pedro up there tomorrow, there will be a problem. And I would say it's like tomorrow, right? Our wingers need to come alive, right? Especially when we are in attack. We know what we usually do. We know what it's like for us, Chelsea. So our like I'll say, our wingers needs to come alive. This is like our 5 attacking position. And Maresca talk about that. And Esteva, we know, can play pretty much everywhere on there, right? Can play pretty much anywhere on that 5 attacking position because Maresca says so. But what I want is this, right? When we are in attack, this is pretty much what it's like. We know now the regime doesn't really overlap. So instead of inverting, regimes don't really necessarily invert. He's almost like it almost turned into a back three. This geezer gets to toxins. Let's say Ganacho gets to toxin a little bit, and then you have Cucurella that usually makes an overlapping run back there, or maybe some overlapping run, or sometimes make a run into the box. And we're seeing Ben doing that, right? It was absolutely good. I think we've seen did that against Aya. He has like 2, 3 different opportunities to be able to score. So let's say, sorry about that. But if he's there, right? Let's say Cucurella is there. Now we have Ganacho that talks in, right? You have Pedro Neto, he never talks in. And then you also have Enzo Fernandez. That let's say this person is Enzo Fernandez, right? And then Ja Pedro. So you have these 2 people. But now Enzo Fernandez usually make those type of late run into the box that kind of favor him as well, and makes him to be very good, I would say. And so yeah, if we tomorrow, if our wingers, so that's include, let's just make this thing looks a little bit better instead of everybody just all over the place. If our wingers tomorrow can come alive, so let's say Ganacho, he's not the captain, Rich Jim is the captain. Uh, Ganacho can come alive. Pedro Neto as well. So let's say this is Neto. Can come alive. I think it will be beneficial to us because we love to play through the middle. So now, if these 2 people come alive in this game, allowing us to be, being a threat to the opposition and allowing us to be able to play the kind of football we want to play, which is sometimes between the line passes to our 2-8, our 2-10s, right? In now Enzo and João Pedro. So that kind of favor us as well. But if the both of them are not involved in the game, we have serious problem because that way the opposition usually just shut down the entire midfield. And it's like we're not going anywhere and we are just moving the ball back and forth. But now if this start happening, wherein they being a threat, putting in crosses. So now Enzo is moving in there. We already have Cucurella that is in there. Enzo is also moving in there. And then you have Ja Pedro that could possibly move in there as well. And then you have Casedo that is not here. That kind of usually uh favor us. So now the opposition have multiple things to worry about instead of us just moving the ball back and forth. So crosses into the box. Now they know when the ball go out wide, they have to move there. So that sometimes we create as much chances and opportunity for us as possible. So if Chelsea can put it together tomorrow, it will be absolutely brilliant, and that will be good. This game tomorrow is a game that we have to win. It's a game that we have to win. I'll be honest with you. Chelsea have to win this game tomorrow to kind of kickstart our season because we are very much inconsistent this entire season. We go ahead on a little run and then we fall off. We go ahead on a little run and then we fall off. Now we won against Wolves. It was a good win, right? Coming from a loss, it was a good win. Not the best win ever, but it was good. Now we have to do the same thing against Spurs. Everybody need to come alive. No silly mistake. That include no record, no handing the ball over, no shooting ourselves in the foot. We usually do that. We are great at that. Charity FC. Tomorrow, no charity, no giving up the ball. And if we can make this thing happen tomorrow, I think Chelsea will be in a very good position, right? My prediction for the game tomorrow, I'm going Chelsea 3. Yeah, I know. Chelsea 3, yeah. Or Spurs 1, Chelsea 3. Chelsea 3. Who's going to be on the score sheet? I think Jao Pedro going to be on the score sheet tomorrow. Enzo Fernandez, do the usual, and Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto will be on the score sheet. So let's get the win tomorrow, boys. We need it. And let me know your thoughts about everything that I discussed. What would you change in the lineup? What would you wouldn't change? Now, there's so many things going on. But don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. See you tomorrow after the game. After the win, see you. Thank you. See you there. Cheers.